A warm greetings to all. Today in this video we are going to discuss about the second unit on the subject power system operation and control, that is real power and frequency control. In first unit we have discussed about the real power frequency and reactive power voltage controls in detail in the name of PF and QV control loops. And after that we have discussed the functions of low frequency control and then function of automatic voltage regulator also. And at last we have discussed about the function, that is working of fundamental speed governing mechanism, which is employed to achieve low frequency control in a power system. And with that note we are going to start the second unit, that is real power and frequency control, with a bit of introduction on the purpose of having real power and frequency control in a power system. And in this slide we are looking into the list of topics as per the Anna University syllabus to be covered under the unit 2. And before getting into the topics, that is syllabus in detail, we are going to start with a bit of introduction on the real power and frequency control. And we all know that real power and frequency control is going to match the power generation according to the variations in the system load, that is power load. If there is any changes in the power demand, we have to meet out that power demand by changing the power generation. So in addition to that, we have to maintain the system frequency as a constant one. Constant in the sense we are having tolerable limit for all the electrical parameters, and for frequency we can have to maintain within the limit with a tolerable range of plus or minus 1%. And now we can see the relation between the frequency and the speed, because by means of having a control on the shaft speed, we are going to have a control on the system frequency, because we all know the mathematical relation between the synchronous speed and the system frequency, that is Ns is equal to 120 F divided by P. So Ns and frequency are directly proportional. So in order to have a control or constancy on the system frequency, we are going to have a control on the shaft speed. Shaft in the sense we used to have a prime mover coupled with the generator and on the same shaft. So the name itself, that is low frequency control, from the name itself we can say it is performing two functions. One is it has to maintain a system frequency, that is a main thing. In addition to that, it has to maintain a power balance. That means it has to meet out the variation on the load by changing the power generation. So on that power generation, that is variation on the power generation, can be achieved only by varying the steam input coming into the turbine. And this controlling, that is steam input coming into the turbine, can be controlled only by the speed governor. It is nothing but the mechanical speed sensing devices. So with the help of that speed governor, we are going to achieve the function of load frequency control on the power system. And in this syllabus we are going to discuss this load frequency control function for a single area as well as for two area system. Either we can speed up the generator, or we can slow down the speed of the generator altogether in that common area, that is control area. And after having a control on the shaft speed of a generator, we are going to have a maintenance on the relative torque angle, or we can say as a rotor angle, and thereby having a maintenance or maintaining a rotor angle, we are going to have a constant, or we are going to maintain a system frequency as a constant one. And all this shaft speed control and then maintenance of relative angle and then maintenance of frequency all together will be happen in a single area for the group of generators. That area we used to call as a control area. Arrangement of speed governing mechanism, it is the fundamental one. We all know the speed governor is the heart of this fundamental speed governing mechanism, because it is going to have a control on the steam wall, thereby controlling the high pressure steam entering into the turbine. And all such control is required in order to have a control on the generator speed. because in order to have a constant frequency, we have to achieve a regulation on the speed of the shaft. So this regulation on speed can be achieved only by controlling the steam admitted into the turbine. So, and this control can be achieved only by means of having a speed governor in a speed governing mechanism. So we can see the four major elements for this for achieving this speed governing mechanism. The very first one is a speed governor. It is the heart of this system and mechanism. And second one is a speed changer. Third one, hydraulic amplifier, and last one is linking mechanism. So here we are using fly ball mechanism. Since it is a very fundamental standard speed governing mechanism, we are using fly ball. Even though we are having several types of speed governor, here we are using a mechanical speed sensing devices, that is a fly ball speed governor. And it is having a direct connection with the hydraulic amplifier in order to have a control on the steam wall coming into the turbine. And we can see here that these two are the fly balls. It is being connected with a spring, and this base is going to have a connection with the frequency sensor from the generator terminals. And we can say that if you are having any increase in the speed, and this increase that is a change in frequency, we can say as an increase in speed. So if there is any increase in speed or increase in frequency, or we can say that as a change in frequency, and it will be sensed by the frequency sensor connected at the generator terminals, and that sensed frequency error will come as an input to this fly ball governor. And due to that increase in the frequency or speed, this spring connected between the two fly balls will get expanded, and due to the expansion of the spring, these two fly balls will move outwards. And because of this outward movement of these fly balls, this linking point P will move downwards. And because of this movement on B is happening because of increase in speed. Say for example, if you are having any reduction in the speed or the reduction in the frequency, again that frequency sensor is going to feed that reduction in speed or in terms of reduction in frequency. And because of reduction in frequency, this spring is going to get compressed, and because of this compression, this fly ball is going to move in the inward direction. And because of this fly ball movement, again this point B is going to move upward. So this movement of linking point B in the downward or in the upward direction is happening only because of the changes in the frequency. And we are calling that change in frequency as change in speed. And second part is a speed changer. This speed change, the main purpose of having speed changer in this mechanism is it is going to provide a steady state power setting for the turbine, because it is having a main control. That is, if you want to increase the power generation, or if you want to reduce the power generation based on the variation on the system load, we have to provide a rise or lower signal to the entire rest of the elements in the speed governing mechanism, and that command signal is given by the speed changer. So by means of, so we can say it is having a control on the power generation of the turbine. So that's why we are calling that it is having a it is going to provide steady state output setting for the turbine. And if say for example, if you are going to have a reduction on the speed, we have to increase that speed. So the speed changer at that moment, it is going to give a rise command, and because of that rise command, and the linking point D is going to move upward, and due to that upper pilot wall, this steam wall is going to get open, and because of that more steam will come into the turbine, and by by means of having a more steam, that is more input at the turbine, we can increase the power generation. And the same vice versa will happen if we want to reduce the power generation by means of reduce the speed. So suppose if you are going to have a lower command at the speed changer, because of this lower command, this linking point is going to move downward, and because of that the upper pilot valve will not allow oil come into this main piston. So because of that we can have a control, or we can close that steam valve coming into the turbine. So thereby having a control on the control valve of steam, we can have a control on the power generation as well as the system frequency by means of having a system shaft speed. And the third one is a hydraulic amplifier, in which we are having two parts, that is one is a pilot valve and second one is main piston. And the purpose of having a pilot valve is in which we are having several stages in the amplifier, because here we can sense only the very slight variation, that is movement in the point D, and this very slight variation we can say that we are having very low pressure movement at point D. Because of that low pressure movement, we cannot have a control on the high pressure coming into the turbine. So it is a high pressure, so in order to match with that pressure of steam, at least we have to cope up with that high pressure. So in order to have a match for that pressure, we are having several stages on the hydraulic amplifier. So the purpose of pilot valve is it is going to convert this low pressure movement into a high pressure movement. Here at point D we will be having a low pressure movement, and that will be converted into a high pressure movement at point E, and this will be achieved by means of having pilot valve, because inside this hydraulic amplifier we are having several stages of this piston valve and pilot valve and main piston arrangements. And the main piston, because of that movement, we are going to have a control on the steam valve. And the last one is a linking mechanism. Here we are having two rigid rods. One is A, B, C pivoted at point B, and another one is C, D, E pivoted at point D. And with the help of this linking mechanism only, we can achieve the power increase or reduction, that is variation on the speed, in order to have a constant system frequency and power balance in a system. Now we'll see the modeling of a low frequency control for a single area system. In this slide we can see a diagram along with a generator being connected with the variable load, that is a generator terminal side, and in which we are having a frequency sensor. It is going to measure the actual frequency of a power system, and we can compare this with the frequency set point. For our country, our frequencies we have to maintain at 50 Hz. So frequency set point might be 50 Hz, and you can say it as a reference value, and we are going to compare the actual value. If there is any deviation in that frequency with the frequency set point, that we can call that as a frequency fluctuation, that is frequency error, that is del F. And that del F is going to give us input to the speed governor. And if you are going to have a integration of that frequency deviation, and that integrated frequency deviation will be given as one of the input to the speed changer. Now for having a modeling of low frequency control, we are going to consider the two cases. First one is B is fixed. That means we are going to start the modeling. It means we are going to derive the equations with the basic assumption of already the system is in a steady state condition. It means we are maintaining a constant frequency, as well as we are having a power balance in the entire power system. So the B is fixed. It means that we are having a stable operation in a power system. So second one, it means we are going to have some abnormal conditions. It means some variations in the parameters, electrical parameters of the power system. So let us start with the first case, that is point B is fixed. It means we are having a steady state operation in a power system. So now we are having a steady state. It means we are not having any fluctuations in a frequency. Steady state means we are having actual frequency as 50 Hertz. Our set point is also 50. So we will not having any fluctuation in frequency. So the frequency error will be 0. And due to that 0 input to the speed governor, there will not be any movement in the fly ball and also at the linking point B. And consider now we are going to give a rise command to the entire speed governing mechanism via speed changer. It means we are in need to increase the power generation and also the speed of the generator shaft. So now we have given the rise command, so that speed changer link will move downward, and due to that the point A will also get moved downwards. So here we can say that point A is having direct proportionality with the command signal given by the speed changer. And due to the downward movement of point A, we can have an upward movement of point C, because we are having fixed position at point B. So due to that downward movement at point A, we will be experiencing an upward movement in point C. And because of that upward movement in point C, again we will be having an upward movement of point D. It means we are going to have a movement in the pilot valve. And due to that upward movement in point D, that pilot valve, upper pilot valve will get open, and that high pressure oil is going to enter into the hydraulic amplifier via the upper pilot valve. So we will be having a high pressure oil flow in the direction given by the arrow mark here. So now what will happen, that main piston will move downward because we are having the flow of high pressure oil in via upper pilot valve. So the main piston will move downward, so automatically that valve is going to come in the downward direction. It means we are going to open the steam valve coming into the turbine. So once the valve gets open, the high pressure steam will enter into the turbine, and the turbine will convert that steam into a mechanical input. That mechanical input is going to convert into an electrical output. That electrical output we are calling as a power generation. So, and at the generator terminal here we are having a turbine and the generator connected to a common shaft. These two parts we can say as a turbine fans, okay, I mean turbine blades, and after converting after generating a power, we will be having some indoor switchyard. Via that indoor switchyard, we will be connecting with a variable load at the distribution side and as well as at the consumer side. Okay, and in the power line we can employ a frequency sensor. And it is going to sense, again it is going to sense that frequency deviations. Already we are having set point, now we have increased the steam entering into the turbine. So because of that increase in the steam, we can experience a increase in speed of the shaft, and due to that increased speed, that is frequency, we can have more power generation at the generator terminal. So it means we are having more power generation in the single area, right? So it means we are increased the frequency. So the frequency sensor, it is going to measure that increased actual frequency. And at this juncture, we can have a comparison between this increased frequency with the reference point, and obviously we'll be having we are having excess frequency than the set point, because we have started from the steady state. So in steady state, it means we are already, the system is operating at 50. Now we have increased the frequency. So it may go beyond 50 hertz. So there will be definitely a frequency fluctuation, that is frequency error, and we are having more frequency, and that more frequency will be given as input to this fly ball speed governor. Now what will happen? Due to that increased speed or that increased frequency, that spring will get expanded, and because of that expansion in the spring, that two fly balls will move outward, and because of that outward movement of fly ball, the point B will move in the downward direction, and because of that movement in point B, that point C also will move downward. Already we didn't change any movement at point A, already it is in the downward direction. So again, because of that increased frequency, here we are having a change in the movement of point B. Earlier it is in fixed position, now it is moving in the downward direction, and because of that point C is moving downward. Earlier it is in the upward direction, now it is in downward direction, and because of that movement at point C, we will be having a downward direction movement in the point D. It means the high pressure oil will enter into the hydraulic amplifier chamber via the lower valve. Okay, and because of that lower valve, the main piston will move in the upward direction, because its oil is moving in the upward direction. So the piston will move upwards, and due to that upward movement of main piston, the steam valve will get closed. It means we are reducing the steam coming into the turbine. So what will happen? We are we are restricting the input coming into the generator. So it means we are reducing the shaft speed, and also we are reducing the power generation. So on the whole, we are having a minimum power generation, and also we are reducing the frequency.